Hey everyone, today is February 9th, 2025. I'm going to be doing a snow walk along Utopia Parkway from Northern Boulevard to the Long Island Expressway. The time now is 8:11 a.m., 33 degrees Fahrenheit, 0.5 degrees Celsius. I'm here at the intersection of Utopia Parkway and Northern Boulevard, also known as New York State Route 25A. Route 25A spans about 73 miles long, connecting Interstate 495, the Long Island Expressway, or LIE, at the Queens Midtown Tunnel in Long Island City, Queens, to New York State Route 25 in Calverton, Suffolk County, New York. It is the longest street in Queens. According to Google Maps, it spans for about 11.3 miles long. Here we roughly have about 2 to 4 inches of snow, which started precipitating from Saturday evening into Sunday morning. The neighborhood we are currently walking in is called Auburndale. The name comes from Auburndale, Massachusetts, the home of L.H. Greene, who developed the community starting in 1901 when the Long Island Railroad, LIRR, started offering train service to the area. The Auburndale station is located at 192nd Street between 39th Avenue and Station Road. This station is part of the Long Island Railroad's Port Washington branch, connecting Port Washington in Nassau County to service to Manhattan, either at Penn Station or Grand Central Madison. In terms of architecture, the most common house style is the Tudor. According to the Auburndale Improvement Association, along with other groups, they seek to preserve the neighborhood's small-scale lawns and driveways character, which in some respects seems to have more in common with nearby suburban Nassau County than New York. And it's amazing because you can see, typically, if there's no snow, there would be grass between the street and the sidewalk. And most of these properties here are single units. Along with Tudors, there are capacious Dutch colonials and Cape Cod houses, also known as the standard North American house. Utopia Parkway is about 5 miles long, spanning from a dead-end road in Beechhurst, where you can see the Throgs Neck Bridge carrying Interstate 295 over the East River, to its southern end, the Grand Central Parkway along exit 18, which is nearby St. John's University campus. And I know St. John's University because it does have a pharmacy program. Neighborhoods Utopia Parkway intersect include the following from north to south: Beechhurst, Whitestone, Bayside, Flushing, Auburndale, Fresh Meadows, Utopia, Hillcrest, and Jamaica Estates. Is Utopia Parkway technically a parkway? It's not a controlled limited access roadway like the Grand Central Parkway, although I don't really see any commercial vehicles here, nor do I see any restrictions signage for trucks. The reason we don't see that many trucks is because New York City has specific truck routes. There are through truck routes and local truck routes. And this area doesn't really have that many truck routes. The truck routes in the neighborhood include Northern Boulevard, Francis Lewis Boulevard as local truck routes, and the Long Island Expressway and Clearview Expressway serve as the through truck routes traveling through longer distances. So it is a relatively quiet neighborhood, and I think the air quality is also a lot better compared to other neighborhoods in New York City, as there's barely any traffic. This 1.3 mile stretch from Northern Boulevard to the Long Island Expressway is a relatively peaceful drive because the road is a 2-lane in each direction, divided roadway. It has relatively very few traffic lights. Plus, you can glide on this road at 30 miles per hour, as shown by selective speed limit signs, which is 5 miles per hour greater than the citywide speed limit of 25 miles per hour enacted in 2014. Plus, you can see that there's not a lot of traffic here, and it's relatively peaceful. Nice neighborhood. The name Utopia Parkway comes from the Utopia Land Company. This company purchased 50 acres of farmland in Queens in 1905. The company aimed to provide a less crowded community for Lower East Side Jewish families. At the time, the land east of 164th Street, between near Jamaica and Flushing, was open space. The company planned to name the roads in the new community after the Lower East Side streets, where its inhabitants used to live. These include Essex, Hester, and Ludlow streets. Ironically, the Utopia Land Company went bankrupt before it could realize its dream. Much of the land remained unused for the next 35 years before Jamaica's Gross Morton Park Corporation began developing the area. While the meaning of utopia in its history can refer to a negative connotation for an impractical plan for social improvement, today I like to think of this area in the positive connotation, a term that describes a seemingly perfect society or a place with ideal conditions. And this looks fantastic compared to New York City standards. It looks more like Nassau County in Long Island. When we cross over 46th Avenue and Hollis Court Boulevard, we have a new bus route on Utopia Parkway. This is the Q31, traveling from 27th Avenue and Francis Lewis Boulevard in Bayside to Archer Avenue and Sutphin Boulevard, the Jamaica Long Island Railroad Station, with connections to the E, J, and Z trains, as well as the air train to JFK Airport. There are still a few more landmarks to point out throughout this video. For now, enjoy the sounds of walking through the snow, cars driving through the plowed, wet streets, in the quiet neighborhood of Auburndale. You can see the timestamps in the description below to see remarkable locations. Here between Underhill Avenue and Peck Avenue, there is this greenway space called Kissena Corridor Park. We are on the Kissena Corridor East. The word Kissena, which frequently appears in Flushing places names, such as a road called Kissena Boulevard, it is the Chippewa language meaning it is cold, such as a day like today. The Kissena Corridor Park connects 3 parks in eastern Queens: Flushing Meadows, Corona, Kissena, and Cunningham Parks. This park was a result of Robert Moses's efforts to develop an emerald necklace that would connect a continuous series of green spaces stretching 4.5 miles across Queens. The corridor was assembled in pieces beginning as early as 1938, when the city acquired the former Vanderbilt Motor Parkway, which is now the eastern edge of Kissena Corridor Park. Much of the land was purchased between 1944 and 1948, and the eastern portion follows the right-of-way of the former Creedmoor branch of the Long Island Railroad. This railroad, formerly known as the Central Railroad of Long Island, originally operated in the 1870s. Additional land was created by filling in wetlands through the Department of Sanitation's landfill program. Consolidation of the park continued through the 50s when some of the streets crossing the park were closed. This park is technically not continuous because Horace Harding Boulevard eventually was converted into the Long Island Expressway. This removed a portion of the park in 1951, created a greater division between the parts of the park corridor on each side. And the Long Island Expressway was another project headed by Robert Moses, acting at this time as the chairman of the Triborough Bridge and Tunnel Authority, TBTA, which undertook many of the highways projects in New York City. In 1954, a little more land was removed from the park near the expressway to accommodate Public School 179. And the corridor now continues at this point as a narrow strip between the school and a pedestrian walkway over the expressway. Some portions of Kissena Corridor Park are left as natural areas, while others are developed as playgrounds and ball fields. The corridor also provides a continuous bicycle path that ties the different parks in eastern Queens together, making them all more accessible to the communities they serve. The avenue we are crossing right now is called Booth Memorial Avenue. Booth Memorial Avenue is named after Booth Memorial Hospital, located west of us at Main Street in Flushing, Queens. This was actually the largest voluntary hospital affiliated with the Salvation Army, founded by William Booth in 1878. The hospital began in 1892 as a non-profit hospital in Manhattan, and it later moved to 2 other Manhattan locations in subsequent years. The campus in Queens was dedicated and opened on February 5th, 1957, where this avenue was originally named the North Hempstead Turnpike and renamed for Booth Memorial Avenue. In 1992, the hospital was purchased from the Salvation Army by New York Hospital in Manhattan, becoming New York Hospital Queens in May 1993. Eventually, New York Hospital became Weill Cornell Medicine and is owned by New York Presbyterian. This hospital today is called New York Presbyterian, or NYP, Queens. When we cross Booth Memorial Avenue, we can see a public high school. This school is called Francis Lewis High School, FLHS, or Franny Lou. The high school is operated by the New York City Department of Education, NYC DOE, and serves students from grades 9 through 12. The school is named after Francis Lewis, a delegate from New York who signed the U.S. Declaration of Independence in 1776. This high school has the largest enrollment for the borough of Queens, with over 4,000 students. In New York City, there is only one high school that beats this enrollment, and that is the New York City Specialized High School, Brooklyn Technical High School, or Brooklyn Tech, which is my alma mater. Brooklyn Tech roughly has an enrollment of about 6,000 students. Our final important landmark of this journey is the Long Island Expressway, also known as Interstate 495. You can see the service road is titled Horace Harding Expressway. That's because the expressway has a different name in Queens. From the Queens Midtown Tunnel through Route 25, or Queens Boulevard, this portion is called the Queens Midtown Expressway. From Queens Boulevard to the Queens Nassau line, this expressway is called the Horace Harding Expressway. The Horace Harding Expressway was named after James Horace Harding, a finance magnate who directed the New York, New Haven, and Hartford Railroad and the New York Municipal Railway System. Harding used his influence to promote the development of Long Island's roadways, lending strong support to Robert Moses's Great Parkway Plan. Harding also urged construction of a highway from Queens Boulevard to the Nassau County line in order to provide better access to Oakland Country Club, where he was a member. After his death, the boulevard, formerly Nassau Boulevard, he helped build, was named for him. Horace Harding was not related to the former 29th U.S. President, Warren G. Harding. Despite its number, Interstate 495 is not a connector road nor a bypass route of Interstate 95. This is because New York City canceled a lot of highways to cross into Manhattan as part of freeway revolts in the 70s. Instead, Interstate 495 is technically a spur route, only connecting to I-95 through Interstate 295, the Clearview Expressway. Both ends don't connect to an interstate for its 66-mile length. The Long Island Expressway is one of the busiest roadways in America, usually in traffic jams during rush hour and carrying over 700,000 vehicles a day. This roadway is very busy because it is the only interstate highway that traverses through Long Island. The exit for Utopia Parkway on the LIE is exit 25. This exit is sequentially numbered as we are not 25 miles away from the origin of the western terminus of the LIE. In fact, we are 10 miles away from Midtown Manhattan. And that's my snow walk along Utopia Parkway in Queens, New York. If you enjoyed the video, please give this video a like, Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more adventures from me. Comment to let me know what you think. Thanks for watching, and hope to see you next time. Bye.